Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing a game called Ultros, and Ultros is a game that caught me by surprise when I first saw its reveal trailer back in 2023, and what really caught my attention was the art style, so check this out. So the game is labeled as a psychedelic metroidvania, and from what we just saw, I think that just about covers it if you wanted to casually describe the game to a friend or family, but it's really so much more than that. It takes the standard metroidvania formula and pairs it with elements from roguelites like Dead Cells and Hades, where some upgrades and progress are carried over into subsequent cycles. This is what separates it from the games before. It fuses the two genres and throws in the incredible art style. So you're probably wondering what I mean by that. And the way it works is the game is broken up into cycles, and these cycles essentially soft reset the game world. You respawn at the starting area without your weapon or inventory, but your map is still filled out, and you can carry over skills as long as they were locked into place. These cycles will auto-trigger a refresh of the world after you break open a new sarcophagus, and what's good about starting a new cycle is it also resets the world too. This is beneficial because all the individual bosses have an alternate ending, which are all related to an achievement trophy. Now that you have a clear idea about the basic concept of the game, let's look at how the game plays. At first, like all Metroidvanias, you'll just have your basic bread and butter attack from the main hand weapon and a dodge roll, but as you progress, you'll find lots of food items from enemies or fruit from plants, and besides healing you, these items also give you nutrition, which is essentially experience or skill points, and it delegates these into 4 categories. You can spend nutrition on unlocking new skills like wall jumping, aerial attacks, or for things like showing you the location of where different enemies are and things along those sorts. Let's talk about probably the biggest mechanic in the game now, and that is planting of the seeds you find around the game. So throughout the ship, you'll find these sparking areas on the ground or in the walls and ceilings, and you can throw a seed into them, and when you do, they'll produce a different effect depending on the seed. Some will grow vines if planted in the ceiling and you can swing from them. Other plants, if planted on the walls, will let you run up the walls, but if you plant that same seed in the ground, it'll turn the patch into a piece of hyper speed. It's a very unique way to progress, as it seems only certain puzzles can be solved with different seeds, and the level design was very good at taking this into account. With all Metroidvanias, there are always areas that are progression blocked behind certain skills or items. In Ultros, this is blocked by seed progression. Certain puzzles can only be solved with certain seed effects, and like regular Metroidvania fashion, you'll be coming back to previously visited areas with seeds you got from new areas to get new items you couldn't reach before. There's also a very unique way to fast travel about halfway through the game, but that's another mechanic I don't want to spoil because of how cool it is. Even with the cool mechanics, I did find myself with frustrations. I found myself very lost in cycles 1 through 3 because the game is very vague about how the mechanics work. It doesn't explain much to do other than the couple of brief tutorials which can be revisited in the menu. Like, it would have been nice to know that once a seed is planted, it cannot be removed unless I have a certain tool. And I didn't get this tool until my 4th cycle, so I kept thinking I accidentally soft-locked myself by putting the wrong seed into the wrong place. I also found myself running around trying to find a seed I needed for progression, especially in the early game, when you're trying to learn the map and mechanics and you don't know where the seeds spawn. It was just frustrating because I couldn't figure where anything was. There was nothing marked on the map, nothing that would indicate where these seeds were to grow. It was all just based on what memory I had of running past it before. Now, what really separated Ultros apart from really most games was the art style that it has. But in today's gaming landscape, that really isn't enough to push it through. But I can confidently say, it pulled off the other aspects needed pretty well, and it does pull it through. The combat is quick and flashy, the traversal feels fluid and snappy, the level design is organized, and there's a vague yet interesting story. I think all the main issues I took with the game would just naturally be fixed in a sequel, and I think Ultros came out swinging and showed it can stand on its own in the metroidvania genre. I'm going to go ahead and give Ultros an 8 out of 10. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please hit that like button because it helps a ton. Apparently, I don't know, this is my first YouTube video, but I will catch you guys next time.